This is about equity. And everyone deserves housing. I don't care if they're a sex offender. I don't care if they're black. I don't care if they're indigenous. I don't care if they're a criminal. I don't care if they're coming out of jail, prison. Everyone deserves housing.
Holy fucking shit. What do we have here? I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I like looking at things that make me mad. But today I think this topic is gonna take the shit cake. So apparently there's this committee in Seattle that is the homelessness task force or some shit. And that's all good and well. That isn't the problem we're going to address. The big problem, as we're going to see in this video, is that there's an apparent sex offender on the board. His name is Thomas Whitaker, and a woman on the task force calls him out. Almost immediately as she begins to talk about it, this fat hoe, Shani Colston, jumps in and goes on an unhinged rant about how it's not acceptable to disclose private information about this walking piece of filth because of equity or some shit.
It was a normal day in Seattle. Their homeless task force nominated a guy named Thomas Whitaker, who goes by Raven Crowfoot, to join the board. Raven is one of the strongest shatterers primetime has ever seen. He's homeless, gay, an American Indian. There's just one problem.
Thomas Whitaker, Raven Crowfoot, is a sex offender, a repeat sex offender, and I have had bad experience with him.
So I'm going to cut you off because we can't disclose people's personal business here, right?
Okay.
And although that's public disclosure, like, we have no right to out anybody in this space.
Okay. I thought, thinking of
Right?
what
Like,
you
that's just
did.
not okay at all.
Okay.
And I won't
And I
stand for that
apologize.
as the co-chair.
No,
We're not
we don't
here
do
to
that here.
discover people's
No.
backgrounds. And actually, I'm glad that if that is the case, that he's here.
Imagine for a second that you're part of a group whose main purpose is to help the most vulnerable and downtrodden members of your community. Who would be on your list of people to help? Think about it for a second. Maybe it's the poor or the orphans, those afflicted with disease. Something around that area, right? Now go ahead and tell me which groups you chose. Oh, what? It's not the pedophile community? You didn't choose the sex offenders of the world? What is wrong with you, lol? Don't you care about these people? Well, apparently she does, because she seems to care more about the perpetrators of some of the worst crimes more than the homeless people she supposedly cares about, or, you know, the victims of the sex offenders.
Because sex offenders are another population that is most vulnerable that don't have housing.
So sex offenders shatter now. This lady's telling the board that Raven Crowfoot is a rapist, and they're happy about that.
Oh, so a group of people who sexually take advantage and scar people for life, those people have a problem getting a house, getting an apartment, finding a place that's not a sewer-infested waters with rats gnawing at them and disease filling every inch of their bones every night. Those people have a problem getting housing? Oh, pobrecita. Oh no, poor you. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You're going to bat for these people? Estás loca? Okay, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Oh, but these people, oh, they don't know where to live. I don't care. I don't care. These people could actually not be in this world tomorrow, and the world would be a happier, better place. You say this, I guess, fact or statistic, as if I'm supposed to somehow change my mind. No, dearest. That's where we celebrate. That's where we pop the champagne. That's when we bust out the pizza party. That's when we scream at the top of our lungs in celebration. Not cry, whine, and bitch about it like you do, apparently.
They manage $250 million of mostly taxpayer money. Is Raven qualified for that job? Well, let's look at his resume. In 2010, he was convicted of raping a 13-year-old. In 2012, he was charged with raping a 15-year-old. And then in 2018, cops found him living in a tent with a minor. The guy should be in prison, not running Seattle's homeless task force. Oh, and he even molested the board member who called him out.
So let me get this straight. This guy diddled two kids. He took advantage and scarred two I think 3 people, including the person he lived in the tent with. And this guy is not only a member of the board, but apparently you get mad at the woman who also got assaulted by him. This poor woman who is sharing her story actually gets called out by you. Like, you greasy, fat, Twinkie eating fuck. And you repeat this again. I'm a member of the chair. I'm the co-chair. I'm the co-chair. I'm the co-chair. Listen, bitch, the only chair you need is a quad chair, okay? How do you still fucking fit on a chair without destroying it? You mean to tell me that this is the most disrespectful thing that was said? Not the fact that this guy has a history. He has done this before, and he's on the task force. This is an embarrassment. Are you kidding me? This is a disgrace. A complete disgrace. This woman also, she shouldn't have this job. Clearly, her priorities are not in the right place. And you're gonna see this madness come full circle in a little bit.
You need to take this to the police then, Christina.
I have.
This is not the forum.
Stop, Christy. Christy, stop. As the co-chair, I'm telling you that you cannot talk like that in this meeting. I will not have that here. If anyone wants to talk like that, you will be muted and removed from this meeting, board member or public or not. This is about equity, and everyone deserves housing. I don't care if they're a sex offender. I don't care if they're black. I don't care if they're indigenous. I don't care if they're a criminal. I don't care if they're coming out of jail, prison. Everyone deserves housing.
All right, a couple of things. So to the woman who said that you need to report it to the police, no, screw you, you're a coward, okay? And now on to the main event here, the freak show, the star of the circus, the clown. Let's get one thing straight here. Okay, you wanted to sound so heroic, and you wanted to sound like you were a champion for the less fortunate, except you forgot that it stops at pedophiles, molesters, and sex offenders who have done this to people before. Your message of everyone deserves housing is a good message right up until the point where you say everyone. It doesn't matter what they've done. I mean, look at you. You say that it doesn't matter their creed, their religion, their skin color. By the way, all good things, right? It doesn't matter those things. Then you say if they're a sex offender, if they're a criminal. Excuse me. Being black, being indigenous, being white is not the same thing as a sex offender. I don't know where you got off on this high, this sort of fake triumph where you're telling off this other board member who is trying to be kind to you and bring up a problem. You are so fucking fat on your ego, on your narcissism, on your moral superiority that you have the gall, you have the nerve to shame this woman and trying to silence her, trying to put her into submission by yelling and screeching. Like, how dare you? You are scum.
Okay, Shanae, we got you.
No, it's not okay. That's the point. And so when we talk about a code of ethics here at the CLC board, we will be respectful of all people, all inclusivity. Everybody's here for the same reason, to end homelessness, because we've all been there. And it sucks, and it's a shitty place to be. But we are all human at the end, and we all deserve housing. It is a human right. It doesn't matter your background, your religion, your creed.
You are now green. You are light green or dark green.
Your sexual orientation. I don't care about none of that, and nobody here should either. What we all care about is ending homelessness.
Shanae, we need to move on.
No,
Yeah, and you can kind of tell that even her wimpy friend there is telling her, yeah, we get it. All right, shut up. Like, let's move on. Shut the fuck up. But she still can't let it go because in her mind, she has to be a commander. She has to be a leader. She has to lead the armies to victory. Also, by the way, what fucking code of ethics are you following if not the one that precludes sex offenders from joining your organization? Like, what code of ethics are you following? The buffets code of ethics? Because I know you ain't following that one. You're bumping into people, you're smacking down people's plates, you're complaining about where's the dessert, why isn't the food fresh, why isn't everything prepared for me, why are the tables not big enough for me? Because that's the only code of ethics you could, I don't know, possibly follow. And obviously no disrespect to the Marine Corps, I would never try to equivocate this gigantic bundle of joy to you or any member of the armed forces. Thank you for your service. She really thinks she did something. She really thought she was one of them, and you know, she needs to be put down a peg. Okay, if not this, you know, this is the only way to laugh, because if not this, then you know, the only other option is to cry, and I choose to laugh every single fucking time. Also, you know that's like creaking the sound of the chair. I know you heard that. I'm not sure if that was hers, but you know what? Since I don't like this woman, since I hate her so much, I'm just gonna assume it was her, okay? The chair cannot support her much longer. It's gonna bend in half, okay?
No, I'm telling you, I'm not moving on as the co-chair. I'm letting you know our code of ethics is that this is an inclusive space and we are equitable to all.
I agree. Totally.
And that's not in disagreement.
Nobody's disagreeing with that, but we do need to move on. This is not the forum to
Listen, I
debate
need
that
you
right
to
now.
stop telling me what to do.
Okay.
No, I'm part of this
you.
committee.
I get
I
that,
can.
but I don't need to.
Recommendations.
I know.
Comments.
I hear you.
Thank
I
you.
know, but yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah, and you can see there that it loses steam, and I mean, she's just a sad, fat bitch. Like, she even starts going after her own people, and the beta male, he finally starts talking, and he's like, oh no, I wasn't trying to disagree with you. She's like, oh, don't tell me what to do, don't tell me what to do. You know what, let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you what to do, okay, you fat bitch. You need to go to the gym, all right? Instead of trying to be one-upping people and who can be morally virtuous, why don't you get off your lazy butt and go lift a 5-pound dumbbell? All right, not a 5-pound burger, a 5-pound dumbbell, okay? I mean, the rest of it, I mean, is just trash. She's like, oh, we can move on. We can move on. This person's a tyrant. She literally is just a power-hungry bitch. I have no sympathy for her and the backlash that she's getting or has gotten. It's just fantastic. It's all coming down, raining upon her, and people like this should be ousted, should be shown to the public and publicly shamed. We should have a moment of laughter at her expense. We should be able to mock her because of this awfulness. I'm losing steam just listening to her. She's just insufferable. But anyways, what do you guys think? Is she in the right here? Is she actually based? Does she have any good points to make? Or is she just a loser who made it into politics and is now trying to get high off her farts? Let me know in the comments below. I just felt like this needs to be addressed because it was just as funny as it was anger inducing as it was just plain sad. Man, I would not love to live in Seattle. I would not like to be there. It's just all going down. I haven't gotten many comments yet, so if you want to comment below, like the video or share it, that would be very much appreciated. Thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to watch my comment. It means the world to me. It means a lot to me that you guys are enjoying my content. But anyways, remind me not to go to Seattle, and I'll see you on the next one. Later. Peace. Video is gonna be on the Seattle board of whatever. I don't even fucking know. Some lady, some fat, ugly albino bitch decided to defend a pedophile in front of a board. Fuck you, dude.